How you doing, everybody? It's Wardy, and as you can see, we're back at it talking about the Amazons, and I'm riding high, baby. I just got back yesterday for an amazing walk-off Metropolitan victory at Citi Field. First dub in attendance yesterday. We were absolutely feeling electric exiting Citi Field when we did our post-game show. Make sure to check it out. I ran into so many of you amazing Mets fans that are followers of mine, so thank you so much. Had a blast meeting many of you, taking photos with you guys. It really is humbling, to say the least. I'm beyond excited to get into today's video because David Stearns is making it abundantly clear the boys are adding leading up to the trade deadline. I will not be shocked the Mets make a trade in the next 24 to 48 hours, especially on the bullpen front, because of the bullpen configuration and the latest news that came out over the past hour or two at the time of recording this. So what exactly is this news? A lot is changing in this Mets bullpen, and there is some very unfortunate news on the reliever front to one of the most reliable relievers the Mets have had all season long. That is what we're going to break down in today's video, and ultimately why trades are inevitably coming for David Stearns and this Mets bullpen at the bare minimum. Let's break it down, but before I do that, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button as you guys and gals first chime in. Help us get to 26,000 subscribers for our next short-term goal for the #1 stop shop for all things Mets news, rumors, post-game breakdowns, everything in between, in season and off season long. Thank you guys so much for the support, and thank you all so much for hearing a quick word from today's video sponsor and our amazing friends here at SoRare MLB.
It's heating up this July on SoRare MLB, where the thrill of the chase meets the prospect of big rewards. Lock in and go yard, collecting cards and playing your way to the top. Get things right and you'll be calling your shot at a share of over $225K in total cash prizes and more. Join for free. Build your winning roster, watch your players perform, and improve your strategy each week for a shot at being crowned a champion. Sign up and enter now. July is for baseball.
Alrighty, folks, you know the drill by now. The best MLB fantasy game out there at SoRare MLB just has 2 weeks left. We are in the third week out of 4 weeks for the July chase, in which they are throwing out $100,000 in cash prizes will be rewarded across all competition levels for the July chase, which is beyond exciting. And your top 3 scores will be totaled, and then whoever looks the best with their production out of those 4 weeks will win the grand prize of a lot of money here that we see. SoRare MLB doing a fantastic job giving you the best opportunity to succeed with the most fun MLB fantasy game out there. And as you guys and gals can see, this is the current roster that I'm rocking with for week 4. Week 3 out of 4, rather. I got Grayson Rodriguez on the bump, Edwin Diaz, Adley Rutschman, Jeremy Pena, George Kirby, Gunnar Henderson, and Brandon Nimmo. I'm liking this lineup a lot. I'm excited to see how it does. If you guys are involved with SoRare MLB as well by signing up, to click that link down below in the description whenever you guys get the chance. Let me know what your SoRare MLB team is looking like this season. Thank you all so much. And now let's hop right back into breaking down everything you need to know on the reliever front. And everybody, again, I want to know your initial reactions to the news because there's a lot to get into here. So let me break it down for you all as follows here. Let's start with the initial news, which is the following, everybody, from the Mets themselves. Kodai Senga, Mr. Ghost Fork himself, is back in the rotation, reinstated. He'll get the big start tonight against the Braves, which we will have post-game coverage for, as we always do. Beyond excited to see him back on the mound. Man, as it felt great to say that Kodai Senga is pitching tonight. Adrian Hauser has in fact been DFA'd. Why exactly is that? Danil Nunez has been placed on the 15-day injured list, retroactive to July 24th with a right pronator strain. So that is the big blow to this Mets bullpen that we're going to get into. And then furthermore, Shintaro Fujinami, who is done in his rehab, has been DFA'd by the New York Metropolitans. The electric Japanese right-hander. And literally, it's like, as soon as Kodai Senga comes, it's like, okay, it would be amazing if we had these Japanese guys, both with the Mets, both doing well. However, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here for Shintaro Fujinami. And Eric Orzi has been called up as a short-term corresponding move. Then we see from Michael Marino shortly after. Fantastic job by Michael, who's a great independent reporter covering all things Major League Baseball and the Mets. He's been on the channel in the past, and he will be again. He states the following not long after: Mets active and relief pitcher front. No shock there. Told they are casting a wide net, everything from pure upside plays to more reliable and consistent targets. Waiting for what they deem a fair value acquisition. Haven't deemed any of the relief pitchers to go as ones they would outbid for. And this is something to bear in mind, guys. There has been a lot of clickbait that I've seen out there lately on YouTube and on other other platforms. Trust me when I say that if I have not covered anything in regards to the trade or the rumor front, there's good reason, because that means that nothing has happened yet. There has been nothing that has happened yet on the trade front, especially with a guy who I would love and say, Garrett Crochet, now looks like he's probably not going to be dealt because he's looking for an extension should he be dealt to any team, or else he's not going to pitch for them in the postseason. So that's a completely separate discussion. So let's reel back in and talk about the news. One, the first big blow, Daniil Nunez, who's been absolutely dominant for the Mets out of the bullpen this season. Losing him is no joke, seriously. Even with it being retroactive to July 24th, just a couple days ago, losing Nunez for a couple weeks is going to be a huge blow this Mets bullpen. He has a 2.43 ERA this season, 24 outings, a diamond in the rough. Beautiful find by David Stearns with his internal options that he saw there. AAA Syracuse, a fastball that tops out 99 on the gun, looking beautiful. A slider that bites so well there that sits, low to mid 90s. So you got a lot there that you love there with Daniil Nunez. Profiles eerily similar to Edwin Diaz in a lot of ways, but Nunez has been able to get the job done. His advanced numbers through Baseball Savant are a thing of beauty. They're quite literally all chef's kiss. Daniil Nunez has been one of the most elite relievers in Major League Baseball, and all the advanced metrics will tell you that right now. So now the Mets lose a guy that can come in a setup role anytime pretty much, or eat multiple innings like the Bulldog that he is, doing his best Jose Budo impression, who went 3 shutty yesterday, 9 up, 9 down. What a Bulldog he is as well. But losing Nunez absolutely sucks for this Mets team, and you have to wonder, okay, by losing him for a couple weeks, this absolutely throws a wrench in the Mets' viewpoint on how to address this bullpen, but I think in a good way, in the sense of having a further adamancy to make sure the Mets make sure they land at least one true setup man for Edwin Diaz, whether that's a dominant southpaw option, which there aren't a lot of great ones outside of Tanner Scott of the flamethrower at least, or if it's going to be many guys, veteran options, whether it's a D-Rob, a Kirby Yates, or someone that's controllable, younger, or is going to be less costly. There's a boatload of reliever options out there for the Mets, and after now dropping Adrian Hauser and Shintaro Fujinami on the roster, there's even further room, because unless Eric Orsi absolutely lights up the lamp, and he's fantastic as a reliever and makes up for his very unfortunate first MLB outing against the Pirates, if you know, you know, this Mets team is absolutely destined to find themselves landing in the reliever market, because Adrian Hauser didn't do himself any favors. Color me shocked, right? Hauser actually might stay in the organization unless the Mets consider trading someone like him just in a lesser deal like we have done in the past with Tyler J. We traded and got a return back for just because we DFA'd him. Adrian Hauser with just under a 6 ERA this season was initially looking strong as a reliever. However, what changed a lot for Adrian Hauser, sadly, was that over his past 5 outings, gave up at least 1 earned run in each and every one of them. He has given up a total of 9 earned runs in his past 9 innings pitched. Simply inexcusable. Not a guy that you can have out there in your bullpen. If you're not even being well in a short 1 to 2 inning outing, then what are you good for, Adrian? And again, I do not mean this as a personal slight against him. However, Hauser has had his ups and downs all season long, and it's about time the Mets made the proper decision to DFA him here, and then he will either be sent outright to AAA Syracuse, he'll be traded for a short, a very small pickup, obviously, to just get a body in return for Hauser, or he will opt to hit the free agent market potentially, and then that will be that. So we'll see what happens on the Adrian Hauser front. And Shintaro Fujinami, Fuji, who you guys know I absolutely love, a flamethrowing right-hander, but has simply no control of the strike zone whatsoever. Fujinami, after looking strong in his rehab, ramping up, coming back from his shoulder injury this year that has had him on the shelf for a good period of time, did not look good in his last rehab outing, walked everyone the mother, basically. And I think that was the final sign for David Stearns to say, as much as I would like to keep you Shintaro Fujinami, and you still may stay within the organization, I cannot warrant you being on an active roster spot right now. We got a DFA you, even with a $3.5 million contract, and I think that makes a lot of sense, because for Fujinami, now he will have the opportunity to either be, again, continue to be sent outright to AAA Syracuse, which I think is going to happen unless someone's going to be willing to take on his contract, which I will be surprised if that happens as well. Like, let's be frank, everybody. The Mets have had some of the biggest bullpen woes in all Major League Baseball this season, and they have still not deferred to Shintaro Fujinami, even after he had some strong rehab outings. They are just not seeing enough from him to warrant him getting a roster spot at the moment. However, the Mets may still consider and defer to Shintaro later on this season, should he again stay in the organization one and continue to ramp up and look like him, not necessarily his old self, because we don't know really what he is at the MLB level. It's a very short sample size thus far, an electric arm, but just cannot command the zone to the liking of David Stearns and the Mets right now. Furthermore, the reason as to why the Mets will be seeking external options, as my friend Michael Marino referenced for each and every one of you. Now, the question is, what relievers could the Mets find themselves landing? We talked about 8 different reliever options in previous trade target videos on the channel. Make sure to check that out in case you haven't already. But big news in Mets land, the bullpen configuration continues to change. I need Sean Reed-Foley, Reed Garrett back in this bullpen the way that I need air and H2O on a daily basis as a human being on the planet Earth. But outside of that, what I also need from this Mets team is for David Stearns to add a true high leverage, high upside arm for this bullpen, at least 1, if not 2. Try to add in this rotation if you can. We would all love at least 1 more bat, even if he's coming off the bench, a staple tune option. Get creative, David. I fully expect you to do that. And rest assured, folks, once we find out all the news with players the Mets are reportedly connected to, and not just hearsay on hypothetical trades being thrown out there, I got to tell you guys what's actually happening in Mets land right now, along with also what could be had for the Mets post-trade deadline with their internal options. I'm excited to break that all down in the coming days leading up into the month of August. Every single day we will have live streams and or individual videos out. We will have a big show on trade deadline day as we typically do, and we're going to have coverage in between as we always do here on WardyNYM. So make sure you stay chimed in for it all. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your initial reactions and your thought process on the Mets looking to add and soon to this bullpen, among other things, in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to SoRare MLB once more. I'll talk to you guys and gals real soon. Let's go Mets, baby. Peace out.